Okay, here we are, dear citizens of all countries and dear teachers of all countries. Thank you so much for joining this great opportunity we are having to write one international constitution to all countries. So let's keep going with a few more updates. And this is a process for us to figure out the best way for us to have this law, this constitution, with all the rules and guidelines for everyone of all ages, even for young children until elders, and for business owners, and also for parents and government leaders. So here it is. Let's keep going. Thank you so much. Here's Goiana Ferreira from Florida. We really appreciate your participation. It's a gift to have you join our work. All right. This video is for juveniles and jail. All right. The first thing, let's talk about juvenile. The first thing you explain the organization work to them, right? The basics, and in 5 minutes, no more. You know that we have 10 departments. The organization is an international organization. All juveniles from all countries are doing exactly the same. And this work is for 8 weeks for everyone. And everyone will be going home after 8 weeks. All right? So that's the very basic. In 10 minutes, you explain everything. These first 5 minutes, you're just going to say a few words about each department. You're going to write them all in a small sign or, a blackboard, right? You're going to write and you're going to say a few words. So in 5 minutes, you have 5 minutes to talk about these 10 departments, the very basics. So let me give you an example. Department 1, it's about the holidays, the festivals, and these beautiful events we will have with white peace flags and songs and dances, and also the holidays of the organization for all countries the same. Father's Day, Mother's Day, we have 4 festivals. We have Family Day and we have the Children's Day, all right? And then you're going to say that it's a gift to have this opportunity because everyone will be going home, but together. For example, if their due time is before the 8 weeks, they cannot go home. So they will send a letter an email to the parents, right? So they know that they already received that information, they're joining this program, they cannot go home until the end of the 8 weeks. Basically, it's about 10 minutes long, and you will start right away after this presentation. So this presentation can be done early in the morning, about 8 o'clock, and you invite everyone to be outside or to be at a room that you have available. Everyone sit there, or you can do if you have too many. Some places might have too many, big cities. And then you can have different groups. Okay, so you explain that. And then we will already do the second part of this meeting, okay? For that group that's already there, okay? And will be some words about cleaning up the entire property. Okay, so you will say a few words how that cleanup will happen, take negative things out if they have any, right? So clean up inside and also outside to be ready to start planting those pots, because that is a great important part of the programs, to be outside every day and plant food, okay? Be exposed to the sun, fresh air, and enjoy this beautiful moment of planting and things like that. All right, so you will already organize ahead who you want to do each of the things, because some of them you might trust more to be in this location or that location, right? And some maybe you trust less. So you will be doing this ahead a day before, the meeting, with the other administration personnel, right? So you will have everyone's name. Who is going to clean up the floor, who is going to wash the bathroom, who is going to clean up the items that is not positive, such as bad shirts or ripped pants. Okay, so basically is that. The shirts and the pants, if they're ripped, it can they sew, they will be sewing them themselves. They need to be separated. Do not throw them away. If the shirts have things, negative things written to them or drawn to them, such as, for example, someone is smoking or a cigarette or a marijuana, or those negative items, you're gonna see, right? They have to put on the side, and then they're gonna cut the good parts of those shirts and use as cleaning towels. All right, because you're not throwing any entire shirt out. So maybe the back is still good, or the bottom part after that word or that drawing is still good. We are keeping everything. Okay, all right. And then every of this group gonna have a personnel in charge of the group, okay? And you, the employees at this time, with the director of the facility, whichever is the name that you call, and the teachers, right? They are going to be in charge of that group that is reasonable and safe for them. So, for example, this group that will be cleaning up outside. The main thing is just to have everything clean and, organized, right? So the person outside gonna have 10 or 20, whichever that person believes, or two of the people outside believes that is safe for them to be there, right? Okay, so they will organize things they already have. So maybe they have pots, maybe they have trays, for planting. Maybe they have some big tools, large tools, small tools, hand tools, the very small one. Maybe they have seeds. Okay, it's just to select and organize, put items together, okay? Everything they have. This outside group will also take any wood left on the side, check if they don't have snakes, or trim, take out the weeds and or bushes that they don't need. If it's pretty, really pretty, a garden, and if they are very small, that's okay. But bushes cannot be more than a half meter tall, so nobody ever will hide behind them, okay? But up to a half meter, if they're part of a special decoration, they live there because they're just there for 8 weeks, okay? All right. The other part of this outside group is to make a list of what they have and to make a list of what they need. So what they need? They need some seeds, right? They need a watering can, simple things like that, right? They do not need large tools, such as those that about more than a meter long. They don't need that. They need the small ones because they will be planting pots. They are living it 8 weeks, okay? And the same video will be sent, the link, right? One sentence, one link will be sent to the parents so they know what's going on, so they will be watching this exact same video. If we will already have available the new video, you are going to receive the new video, and they will receive the new video as well. Otherwise, this one is fine and will work. Okay, so the basic is for everyone to have, I think, 2 containers, right? About 4 liters each, more or less, So basically it's that, 2 or 4 liters, whichever you believe that, it's easy for you to get. You don't want to spend too much money. You want to ask for donations. So that's, every person will have 2 pots. That is really reasonable. Those large pots, so those pots you can have a different blend of herbs, the other one, some separate things to grow larger, right, that they grow larger. So you're just going to look online for the basic information. All right, and then you're going to write it down, a list of donations needed. Basically, only what you need is the soil, the pots, the seeds, and maybe you can have already there some containers for watering, a watering hose or watering cans, okay? All right. Watering cans are the best because instead of having one person watering everything, everybody goes there by the tap, right? The garden tap, and fill up their own water bottle, the watering can, their own watering can. That is the best because then they have this movement, they have things to do, and they have those two pots for them to take care, okay? All right. All right, they're gonna plant two things. One is food, so everybody will have food, plant some food items. The second part, they will be planting trees. That is their cooperation to cover the deserts. They will be shipped as soon as they reach 1 meter tall, okay? It's just a cooperation because they're not bringing those pots home in urban buses or anywhere. They're not bringing those home for security reasons, all right? Because we don't want them to hide something sharp there and then they're home plant something mean, okay? And people that will be receiving those pots, the closer neighborhood can come and pick them up or they can sell them as well, right? Okay, and then gonna be a note, please always check your pots. And this can even be done after the 8 weeks, such as the 9th, 1 day or 2 days after the 8th complete weeks. The end of these 8 weeks will be a Friday. All the parents need to come. No, sorry, will be a Saturday morning special event, okay? So, all right, so every person will have 2 pots for food and 2 pots for trees. I was not clear, I'm sorry. All right, so you're gonna gather the seeds, you're gonna purchase or have donations, or the employees can walk around in the neighborhood and bring some seeds, okay? Whichever is affordable for you. All right, that you are in charge of that, okay? Maybe some parents can drop off a few and inspect them thoroughly before you give to them, okay? So this outside team, it's basically that. They have the list of materials they have the list of materials they need to plant a half of their pots in food and a half of the pots in trees. Okay, they can bring salad greens that will be ready. This they can do, the employees will be with them, and they can bring such as kale, anything that they have planted, but not the pot with soil, all right? But that is okay, green onions, anything, cilantro, parsley, anything they have planted. All right. And for sure they need a watering faucet, right? Outside, and basically it's that, all right? And every morning they will be outside the whole morning from 7 to 11 a.m. The whole morning outside because that is very important. And they will share time. Will be 2 hours for the garden work and take care and improve and water them and check them, and 2 hours for outside learning games, okay? All right, so 2 hours of each with the proper teachers that you need to organize ahead of time before you start explaining about this program. Every business of all continents, right? They have 2 days of planning, maximum of 2 days of planning. In your case, you're gonna need that because it's for safety reasons, right? So you're gonna organize everything, who's gonna be outside, who is going to be inside, who's gonna lead this cleaning up team outside, who's gonna lead this cleaning up different teams inside, okay. So you have everything real organized. You walk around to have an idea, so the leader is not there. And you need always 2 adults with them for each team they will have. Okay, if you don't have an outside large garden, it's okay. You can do in a small area, all right? Okay, you can do in a small area, one pot beside the other, that is fine, because every location should have, right, a place for them to play sports and, basketball or something, right? They need to have some outside area for sure. Okay, so that is the outside area, and that is done. The other group gonna help inside with cleaning, like a better cleaning, touch up the corners, and mostly for the kitchen. So that's one place you can start. You don't throw any food away. You're just gonna use the worst food first and the better food after. If you see any other video, you're gonna have an idea, right? You're gonna check other videos that you think will be positive for you. And for the parents, you're gonna send an email, the links of the best songs, okay? All right. This kitchen team will organize the items, will throw away, will help. So maybe it's just 2, maybe it's just 4. Of course, you need to get those that you trust. Maybe just 2 is fine. It's not a big group like the outside group, or other groups. So that's the kitchen. All right, so that's what you do. You get them to take away all the knives, and that you're gonna separate, and you, the person in charge, you're gonna throw them away. The ones that will stay at the kitchen is 2 or 4. You need to drill holes, put a hook on the wall, and keep only the good sharp knives that can cut something, right? And they cannot be pointy. Those chosen knives need to be round, and they cannot be too sharp, okay? All right, very good. So these 2 people, for example, gonna help you to install, right, a drill and install those 2 hooks. And then you can get those small chains, firm chains to connect the knife towards the wall. All right, you just, of course, you're gonna see which ones you'll be chosen. Is the one that has the wood handle, or the ones that have a plastic handle, or the ones that have a metal all around, the knife is a metal and the handle is a continuation of the metal. All right, and of course, you're gonna be smart to use the proper tool to make a hole on that knife, right? So you won't hurt yourself, won't use the wrong material. Okay, so you install that ring, right, like a key ring, and with this chain you just bought, maybe a ½ meter of each for each knife, and you're done, okay? All right, if you have a food processor, you can use the food processor, and then you just need 2 knives for meat and things like that, okay? Or maybe already purchased meat that's already cut, that's fine. The other thing, they're going to organize the dry food as well. So they will use along those 8 weeks. First, they will use the worst. Worst means the most unhealthy items, and they keep for last those items they have like real nuts or real lentils, real beans, the whole foods, okay? The better food for their second month, let's say, okay? All right, very good. These 2 people, or maybe 4, will also help to clean the refrigerator, and organize those items in boxes or cabinets, and put signs in all cabinets, So you can have, for example, 2 people helping at the kitchen, and maybe 2 other people in this other group that will be helping you with the pantry, okay? Do not have too many people at these 2 locations, because 2 that you trust and will work fast, it's better than have more, with any questions. So of course, the person that will be in charge of the kitchen will choose 2 helpers, and the person in charge of the pantry need to be someone else, right? will choose that two people, or the director will choose the ones, two for the kitchen and other two children, older children or teens to help at the pantry. Okay, at the pantry, you're going to do exactly the same thing as the kitchen. You're going to have a clipboard, right, or a notebook, and write everything, more or less, right, how much you have, the items you have, and the amount for each. And you're also going to separate the items you're going to use first and the other half with the best items. You're going to make those signs in permanent marker and on printing paper, white printing paper, very neat, very clear, and in bold. And you're going to get regular tape and put those signs they just made on those cabinets. Use first, use second, okay? And they're already gonna share, a half. So they can only start using the second set of food when all the first one have been used. Because that's how we're doing with every business, every school, every house, everywhere, okay? Because that's reasonable. So if you have items, for example, salad dressing, or if you have sugary items or processed food, or those meat that's already processed, you eat them first. And after that, for the second month, as soon as you finish, maybe in 2 weeks, who knows, you finish all these more not so healthy items, you already go and get the other meat. For example, the beef, that you cut in pieces, or the real chicken instead of nuggets, you know what I mean? And you will get the nuts, the beans instead of other things, okay? All right, so you got the kitchen team, that's a number 2, the team 2, the team 3 is your pantry. Now let's go for the team 4. The team 4 is like some offices, right? So maybe they're gonna have also 2 people for each office. Some office might be bigger, some office might be smaller. So the director of the facility gonna choose. If the employees, for security reason, the employees can also give at this meeting, have 2 days for planning, right? Have those meetings, write everyone's name, organize everything. And you need the employees to be in charge of these areas, right? And they are not going to school on that day. They are going to be helping on that day. Can be a Saturday, these cleanup days can be a Saturday and a Sunday, right? Those 2, because they're gonna already clean up, and then on Monday they will already start having the actual activities, such as the real planting, the real learning games outside, okay? All right, they do not go to school. For 8 weeks, they are there. They're going to learn there. And you, the employees with this director, person in charge, and managers, whichever you have, teachers, doctors, you are going to do the reports on them. Yes, this 8 week, they were really nice. They were really cooperative. This person, right? You're going to do 1 paperwork for each person, okay? All right, so the team number 4, you're going to have 2 people, 2 of these juveniles helping each office in a reasonable way, right? So maybe they need 2 for the teachers, they need 2 for the social worker, they need 2 for the directors of the facility, another 2 for the monitors outside games, or the other 2 for people that stay overnight with them. I don't know. Whichever the number of office you have, get 2. Okay, 1, because some places in some countries, gonna have just a very few, maybe 10, 20. But some cities, they are huge and they have, 100, 200. I'm saying 2 for safety reason, okay? And you, the employee, if you believe, you know them. You are there every day with them. People that just start working is not going to take decisions. They can give ideas to the employees that have been there 2 or more months at least, right? And you can give idea, if you're a new employee, you can give idea to the director of the facility, right? But the employees that are there for, let's say, the last at least 4 months, that's a reasonable way, at least 4 months, and then they're gonna make more decisions with the director, the person in charge. Okay, so you got all these themes for the offices, right? They put everything together, all the clean paper, for printing, you know, all the markers together, all the pencil, the pens, everything really neat, organized. The offices also can have gather things from one each other instead, you know, like whichever make new changes. That's what I want to say. All right? Okay, so they help you with all these offices and work areas. Let's say this way. Okay? Very good. They will also help the work area, you know, and for sports, right? You probably have a little closet or a little room with sports items, right? A ball or something like that. So they will also help to organize that, make it neat, sweep, clean, dust, take dust away. So that's what they're gonna do. Everywhere they're going to help with these things. Clean the windowsill, clean the window a little bit, because when people do these things, they focus on something different. That's great. They focus on this great opportunity to renew. That's also great. You know, so it's a good start. Okay, all right. The employees during these 2 planning days, they also have to learn 4 songs. 4 songs. They really have to learn. Not too many, but also not too little. They have 4. So they're going to share and learn different songs. So people that are, while they're cleaning, organizing, you sing a little song and then you make a break, you know. So all this cleaning, we have to focus. You're going to do in 2 hours or 4 hours. So for example, if you have a very large pantry, take 4 hours because you're doing your planning, right? You're doing your planning. But if 2 hours for some offices, that will be plenty, right? To organize and clean, dust, clean the floor, mop the floor, okay? All right. And everyone should have cameras, so nobody should be afraid of anything. It's just regular vacuum or regular sweeping, regular mopping, dusting, and cleaning. Okay, so during your 2 days planning, you're already gonna write for every of these activities if they will help you for 2 hours or if they will help these people, you know, these employees for 4 hours. And you're already gonna organize these things along the day. So the best day is a Saturday and Sunday because a transition. You don't want them, you know, suddenly you come and say, oh, you're not going to school. Some of them, you know, in some countries, I believe they don't even go to school, and some they do, you know, for a special school close by. I don't know, you know, maybe some are picked up by a bus, some maybe they walk or they have the class right there. But we are doing the same pattern for every place in the whole planet, you know. So you are going during this Saturday and Sunday already have this organized. So remember this presentation, this 2 hours presentation you're gonna have, you're already gonna explain all the details, you know, and some soon after the presentation they're already gonna do this. And maybe the other half or the other fourth, whichever it is, they're gonna first play basketball or they're gonna first play something outside, and then maybe their helping team will be in the afternoon, okay? Because maybe that worker they cannot be with everyone, right? So you are going to organize them all to be in a safe environment at all times. You don't want all the employees to be with two here, two there, and all the other students, 40, 60 juveniles, outside or inside, alone. So you have 2 days for planning. And you, the director of the facility, is in charge. You have to make a good, smart plan, right? And have people checking cameras. Whichever you already do for safety, you have to keep doing that. On this Saturday and Sunday, you're not going to have visitors, no family members, no visitors of any type, and you have also to cancel any lawyer for coming. Just say it's the Peace and Love Organization, write them an email. We are not going to have any lawyers or those social workers that really don't work there, just to visit them and they leave, Some countries, they create so many things, and it's not helpful to have all these people, they talk about their problem, they listen their problem, and then they're gone, right? So we need professionals that are there for hours, not just for minutes. They come, they check 1, 2, leave. Those type of professionals that I'm talking about? Assistance for mental problems, assistant for this, assistant for emotional problems, So we're not going to have any of that. You cancel them all, and you cancel the lawyers as well, and you focus only in professionals that are there. If you need someone else, you have money, you hire, because you're going to close down. Everyone is going home in 8 weeks. So you have money, you don't, because all those places, they are public or private or non-profit, right? So you have money, usually for the 6 months ahead or a year ahead. So you, the director, have some money, hire new people, hire new teachers. That is the best you can invest your money is on real teachers, Hire a few, 2, 4, that are really enthusiastic, gonna teach them good things about the organization, gonna play games with them, gonna be enthusiastic, happy, and willing to work. And then you're gonna tell, of course, ahead of time, like you do for every employee you hire. Talk about security, what they can do, what they cannot do. That is, you are in charge according to your reality. We are giving basic guidelines and details. Every person, every director of those facilities with the employees gonna, check and be 100% smart and 100% safe, because that is the most basic for everything we do in life, okay? All right, very good. Okay, so the team number 5, maybe 2 people or so, 2 helpers, right? 2 juveniles, gonna help to have a folder for each juvenile. So they're not going to look the things that they have previous printed or online. They're just gonna get a folder. You buy a folder, different colors, the most different colors as possible. Try 10 different colors. This folder you can even make yourself. You can buy those that are ready in paper. They have an inner pocket. That's the best. And if you buy plastic, it's even better. If you have at your city, buy those that are in plastic, because they won't change the color and they will last forever. Okay, on the top, you're gonna write the person's name with a permanent marker, So you write the person's name, and between and very basic information I'm gonna tell you right now. All right, the first thing I'm gonna put the person first and last name. Those helpers can do. And then it's one below the other. Birthday, it's 4 digits for the year. The month you're gonna write entirely in English, and then you're gonna put the number, the day they were born. Okay, that's it. For the cover, that's it. So you can write in permanent marker. They can use this folder, this plastic folder afterwards. At the school, they will go afterwards, because every school gonna have this folder, plastic folder, and use along many years, right? So already purchase good, strong plastic folders, okay? Very good. All right, and then they just can, those helpers can put their first and last name, their complete name actually, right? The official complete name, and done, right? And if you bought any pink, of course, you can only give pink to girls, and every other color it's fine, but not black and not dark purple. If it's a clear purple, it's okay because you need the most different colors as possible. All right, but not black. All right, thank you. White is okay because right now the employees that gonna be putting paperwork inside this folder need to wash hands before they work, right? And in the future that those folders gonna be used at the school they will be attending, the students gonna also have clean hands when putting their assignments inside those folders. Okay, the release form will be the same for patients living in clinics and hospitals, okay? So the basic items are posted on this video, also done in May 2023, and the number is the number 29. So you get someone, an employee, to hear that video, or maybe even one of the helpers, right? They can hear, nothing bad there. And to get those items, there are more than 15 different items, okay? So after those basic items, you're going to write the following items I'm going to tell you right now. You will add the following. Subtitles. For every subtitle, you're gonna keep about 4 lines, and all these forms are done online. You're just gonna print them afterwards, maybe after a week or two, because you need to type the basic, and leave space for handwriting according to the following weeks. So, the number 1, participation. Number 2, polite and respectful. Number 3, cooperative. Number 4, enthusiastic. So those 4 things every week, every Friday, because we don't want people to be doing that on Sunday or Saturday, right? So every Friday, the people that are in charge of them, you're gonna separate them in groups. They're gonna write yes, more or less, excellent, awesome, good words, right? According to their reality. Okay. The other thing you need to do, it's also exactly like the video I said online for the people living in nursing homes and hospitals, clinics. You're going to make videos up to the moment how was, and it's a little different. You're going to have this part 2 documentation, part 2. It's called 8 weeks to be released. Or you can write 8 weeks for release day. Yeah, I think that is better. Everyone gonna have the second part of their paperwork, all right? So every Friday you're going to have those employees writing something handwritten. And at the end of their comment, they need to write 2 or 4 sentences, something that's reasonable, not too little, right? Long sentence, 2 or 4 long sentences to be reasonable, so they can count points for good things those juveniles will be doing during these following 8 weeks. And the employee, after those 4 lines, the employee will write their names and sign in cursive, very visible, very round and clear. Not in a hurry, but very round and clear, okay? Very good. All right, then you're going to have the team that will be listen to the video, typing this thing, right? You can have also 2 people helping, right? 2 other juvenile, 2 teenagers, right? Listen to that video 29. They will find this part. We'll add the second part I just told you here. And you get 2 other ones that gonna be helping you the videos, right? Be close by, and two. Let's do two for everything. I think that's reasonable, right? The employee in charge of doing those videos, for example, for the facility, the same exact way I said for the video 29 posted in May 2023, yesterday, I just posted that yesterday. So what you're gonna do? You're gonna do the few minutes outside in the street, you're gonna do that a minute or so on the front of the facility, the sides, you record both sides, you need that. So that's an addition here. So you go to the right, you go to the left, and you need to record the back garden as well, or sports area, and the entire thing, okay? Always you go from left to the right. You look that place. So if you're in the entrance of the facility, looking outside the street, the main gate, okay, or at the street, so you do from the gate, you have to show on your cell phone a little bar, a little side of the gate. Okay, you go all across the street saying something and you finish on the right of that same gate. Okay, and then you flip your body, you're looking towards the building. You still at that same front gate and not at the gate of the door of the building itself. You're still at the front gate of the street. Okay, you face that and you record the whole thing from left to right and keep saying, comment something all the way. And then you're going to record the left corridor or left patch, or maybe you have none, and you're going to say, look, we don't have any corridor on the left side. Or you're going to say, yes, we have on the left side of these main buildings this, and that. All right, and then you're going to do the right corridor. Here we don't have anything here on the right side. The building finished at the wall. Or you're gonna say, yes, we have this, and that, and film, if you have a corridor or a big patch or grass or whichever it is. Okay, and then you go straight to that front main building. That's the building you're going to record inside entirely. And you're going to do the same thing for all the other buildings you have. Some places, as I said, might be small, some places might be big, some places might have the sleeping area together with the eating area, whichever is your reality. But the first building you do is the main office, is the reception desk. So you're always going to film from left to the right, and with people that work at those locations, that are there the most. So you cannot do before they arrive. For example, if they are there the most from 8 to 4, you're not doing 7 o'clock in the morning or 5 in the afternoon, okay? And that person need to say, hi, I'm the front desk person, like I'm the front desk, or I'm the security guard here at the front all the time, And the person, we already said the time they work. Those details for security reason, for juvenile, for jail is the same thing, okay? All right, so the person that you're going to be showing going to say the time and days of the week they work. So you keep going from left to the right, that entire building, that entire floor. If that building has a second floor, you do the same thing. When you arrive at the second floor using the stairs, not the elevator, you're going to do the same way. Always from the left to the right, clockwise. Always clockwise. And you film everything. Try to do fast, and you don't have cuts for each floor, you don't have cuts. And if you do the whole thing, even the stairs, because that's just a few minutes, you walk fast, right? And you get even more points if you don't have any cuts. So all the employees will be at their location. The other thing I forgot to say, if you have any question that the parents want to be good to listen to this video, you don't send to them. Just say that this weekend we are not going to have any guests, and a few changes are being made that you, the director and the employees, agree with the Peace and Love International Organization. Done. Because we don't want the parents to be upset with anything or don't understand. Maybe they don't have time to listen to the whole video. So, or do anything against them, And for those that are supposed to leave before the end of the 8 weeks, then you can spend more time talking to them, explaining. Don't, do anything in a hurry. Don't do anything. If somebody's coming right the Monday and Tuesday and you didn't have time, let that juvenile, that student, right, to go home. That's fine. But try the best you can to have them all for this 8 program, because we don't want them to go home and cause problems again. So the best you keep, you will do it. But if someone is crazy outside, you didn't have time to talk to them, you didn't have time that first day or two, right? You didn't have time, or you really called and you didn't reach them, or they didn't answer, because some of those parents, maybe they don't even have a working phone, or who knows, right? The reality of each different country, different families, and different parents. So just be safe and avoid any problem, even in the middle of those weeks, right? If some parents, were not reached, okay? So it's okay, send them home. And the student, you're gonna say, look, we are having this program, in case you didn't reach them ahead of time. Invite them to the office, and you agree to release that child or teen. That's fine. The teen can even come back afterwards if they explain to their parents and they feel that's safe. So that, for these teens, in case something happened, of course, you're going to try the best you can to convince that parent at this specific office, right? That is like a conference room. It's no paperwork. They don't see any notes. It's a small meeting room, not conference, meeting room, okay? So you need that room. It's an empty room without notes, without paperwork at the desk. It's not the director room. And you're gonna talk to them, ask how they're doing, and then you already have a base to see how you're gonna approach that. We're having such a beautiful program implemented here for this 8 weeks, and you're going to convince that parent that the best is to keep that child or teen for the entire 8 weeks there, okay? That needs to be until July 28th, cannot be more. So you have to start this as soon as possible. You have to start that, so you have those 8 weeks and get it done. The other thing that you can accept, according to your reality, you can accept new students. That's okay, because it's better, instead of blocking those new people coming in, whichever is social worker or police involved, whichever is their case, their problem, that, they were referred to go to institution, is fine. Accept them. If it's for 8 weeks or if it's for the last 1 week, it's okay, because they're going to see how beautiful it is. And for sure, they're going to learn something, even that is just for short time. Okay, so you did the second floor of video recording, right? So the best way is for you to already do this video during these 2 planning days. That's going to be during the week, because they already have teachers there, or they already go to the school, whichever is your reality. The best days to do that. These 2 planning days, you're not going to sit in a meeting with everyone the whole day. No, you're going to have some meetings. So plan a meeting in the morning, 8 to 10, done. And then you plan another meeting the end of the day, such as a 5 to 6 or 4 to 6. If you're large place, 4 to 6, you need 2 hours in the afternoon. Why? Because everyone gonna do their own homework, right? They're going to check what they're gonna do, listen to this video, make notes, and who gonna do what. And then at the end of the day, you already have the answers from those employees, okay, doing everything that's needed. For example, who's going to be in charge of the videos of this building? Who's going to be in charge of the videos or paperwork. We're going to be in charge of all these teams that we already said, right? The real employees having 2 helpers and do everything. And everybody already check their office. Of course, they already can clean, organize, take notes out, see which notes are old, see which notes they still need, okay? And of course, everyone need to go and listen to this video because people also need to work. You have to remember that. They're not going, the students are coming back. What time they're coming back? Okay, so maybe 4 to 6 is not the best time. So you have a meeting 8 to 10 with all details and another meeting soon after, 10 to 11 or 1 to 2. Before those students are released, of course, from their school hours, because every country should be teaching, having classes, right, for those students, okay? All right, so you already select everyone you need, probably one person if the facility is not so big, with a helper beside, with a checklist and a clipboard, right? Oh, we already video this, that, the building inside, outside, At all the locations you will be at, cafeteria, kitchen, bedrooms, offices, you have to record the outside window view. So the first thing that everyone needs to go, as soon as they leave that meeting, is to go to their office and open their blinds entirely, all the way. And also the curtains open all the way. That is the base, because the person that will be in charge, these 2 people being in charge of doing the videos, right, of the entire facility, that maybe you can have some helpers or just the employees themselves to do it as soon as possible. You have to record the videos, the view of those windows. And if they have closets, you have to open the closets. If they have a bathroom inside that bedroom or inside that office, you have to record that. And always you have to keep talking the whole way. And the person beside you gonna be commenting. Oh yes, and so you're gonna be talking. Both of them need to be talking simultaneously, all right? Okay, so you're gonna go around and be talking. So you already organized more or less. So, okay, this room, I'm gonna talk now. You already know. So one room, one person talk, the other room, the other person talk. But both of them, the main person talking, have always the other one make a little comment. Oh, look, it's sunrise, Oh, look, it's sunset, Just some ideas. Oh, it's snowing outside. Oh, goodness, it's really hot today. According to your reality. Because we have also north of Canada, the whole Europe, the whole Alaska, north of Russia, right? That it might be snow out, okay? So you say something about the weather. Not every room, but quite often. You say something about the weather. You say something about the closet. Oh, this closet is really full, right? Okay, oh, look how much paper they have. Or if you're filming the pantry, wow, that is great. We have a lot of beans or rice or, you have to say something that you're doing. And the person helping gonna touch that, needs to touch things. So for example, you touch the curtain, the other, if you get a closet, you show something, or if it's the kids' closet, you show a clothes. Oh, look, that's the type of clothes we use here. Something like that. If you're in a shower bathroom, say, look, that's where they take a shower. Oh, it's really clean. Oh, it's not so clean. We need to do something. So you're going to comment and show the other person. Okay? All right? Let's do 2 people for each of this location, 2 employees for this location, so we won't expose the juveniles. All right, so that is decided then. You have 2 employees for the street and the front garden, okay, and both sides. And then you have 2 employees for this first building. And then you have 2 employees to do the sports area and the back garden if you have any. And then you have 2 employees for the second floor and 2 employees, okay? All right, because you're gonna say your name, present yourself, you record that whole building, okay? Or this floor, if your facility is really big, do 2 employees per floor. If your facility is small, you can do 2 employees for that entire building, okay? All right, so the other thing when you're gonna record the employees at their location. Oh, here's the office of the social worker. Oh, here's the office of the teacher, right? Or the classroom. Okay, and you're gonna show the teacher, and the teacher needs to say something. So all this is gonna be organized at these 2 first meetings. So you're gonna say the basics that I'm telling you here right now, but they have to listen to this video themselves for any details that is related to the area they are going to be in charge of. So if you're at the parent, you have to open the cabinets, show everything entirely. If you're doing the kitchen, you have to open the drawers, you have to open the cabinets, film inside, outside, the top cabinets, bottom cabinets, under the sink cabinets, everything, okay? If you're recording the students' bedrooms, right? So you're gonna say, look, we have 4 beds for each room, or we have 10 or 20 for each room, okay? You're gonna say, when you enter a shower bathroom, you're gonna say, about 10 kids take shower here, about 40 kids take shower here. Whichever is your reality, you need to know what you're talking about. And the most correct number you say, more points you get. For example, we have exactly 10 kids taking shower here. We have exactly 20 teens taking shower here, okay? Because all these things gonna count good points for closing your facility, okay? All right. And every time you approach a window, your helper gonna say what time it is, all right? I'm gonna have another cell phone or a watch, okay? Oh, now it's 2:20, now it's 2:22, 2:25, doesn't matter. Every window you reach. Of course, if you have several, some bedrooms might be huge, maybe that's your reality. Or the cafeteria might be huge and have many windows. If it's located at the same side, you don't need to go, of course, in each window. You just choose one and record the whole thing from left to the right. If you have other buildings, taller buildings, and maybe you're already on a second floor, third floor, then you record the bottom first, left to the right. And then you record the view from left to the right. Maybe you can view the city, maybe some buildings might have 4 floors, right? Or the neighborhood, right? 4 floors, you can see the neighborhood, unless you're in a mountain, okay? All right. So you will prepare all students ahead of time for this. If they have a school in another location, they attend a school in another location, it's not your own property, of course, you're going to talk ahead to the school principal, set up a day, you have 2 or 4 days. Don't wait too long. Get things done as soon as possible so you can focus on a program soon after. These videos, they are introductory videos. How was the reality before the program? That's the objective. And then at the last week, you're going to say your reality on this last week. All right? Okay. They are going to attend their school at the same exact location. If they study there, that's 8 weeks, they're going to be there. If they went to another school, they are going to continue at this other school. If you have both situations, you're going to continue the both situations. We don't want to disturb, because if they are having teachers, they will continue with those teachers until the end of these 8 weeks. If they have vacation coming on, so you're gonna do the best you can. If the school gonna offer summer camp, they're gonna go to that same school. If they don't, you're gonna provide whichever usually you already do, okay? Because even in small locations, you can have great summer camps. You know, you're going to have games. You're going to run with the space you have, the garden you have, learning games and activities and a little bit at the computer. They're going to be helping to cook, to prepare, to clean, to wash, do laundry, wash tennis shoes. You know, all these things you can do at your own building. That's okay. Whichever is already used to do, that's what you're going to do. And of course, if they're going to have a summer camp, you know, they need, they can't have the kids the whole day because they need to do these activities. Wash their bathroom, right? They're not going to do in the middle of the night. So you're going to have them coming back in a reasonable time. So if they go at 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning, right, to start, so they have to come back 4 and then 4 to 6. It's the time that everyone going to be helping, okay? Or even an hour before, they can rest, it's their snack, and then help 2 hours, right? They can help 4 to 6. So you, the director of this facility, this juvenile facility, need to talk to the school principal, okay? Whichever it's at your property or not, how those following weeks will be. And, you know, according to the hemisphere you are, you know, school's gonna stop sooner or later, right? The school semester. You know, so in the North Hemisphere usually finishes at the end of May, and the South Hemisphere usually finishes at the end of June. And of course, you're gonna ask them to do the same and improve anything. And if they don't know about the Peace and Love International Organization yet, and this proposal, you're gonna send them, you know, an email and talk to them or go in person, because this type of meet is important for them also to do the adjustments they need. Okay, whichever this school is located at, you're going to talk to the students ahead of time. They might be going to schools with other students and not only juveniles, or maybe it's just a school for juveniles only. Whichever is your reality, you know, you talk to the school, you, the director of this facility, talk to the school principal, you know, and you go with her. Make sure she will be going to all the classrooms you have those students, right? And you're going to tell them ahead. Maybe about 10 minutes ahead, that is plenty. And already be ready with these 2 employees helping you to video these things, okay? All right, so you're going to tell the teacher what the teacher needs to do before the teacher start teaching, right? Before they start teaching, whichever is 7:20 in the morning or whichever the time they start teaching. So the teacher will know how to handle the situation when the people will be coming, video them on their cell phones, forbidden to use other cameras of any type. It's only cell phones. And those watches that make videos as well, film, we're not using that. We are using regular or tablets or iPads, iPods. We're not using any of that. We are only using regular cell phones that belongs, you know, to the employees or to the juvenile themselves, the office. Okay, so to the teacher that have glasses, you're going to say, when we come to video your class, you have to say 2 or 4 sentences with the glasses and take it out entirely for the rest of your few sentences, right? Okay, they cannot put their glasses up on their hair if they're female, for example, or even male. To avoid the females to have their hair tight on a side and don't film their hair properly, right? So they have to be who they are. With glasses, 2 or 4 sentences, and then without glasses, 2 or 4 sentences. Okay, so you're gonna give maybe 20. You have to talk to this teacher, you know, before they go to class and give them time for them to know how to answer the things. So the 2 people coming with the videos beside that school principal and beside that director of the juveniles, so going to be 4 people arriving at this classroom, you know, to be present, make sure it's done properly. So The person coming with the video gonna show first the door. Usually, it is a number there or the teacher's name, right? Classroom name, whichever it is. Some of them even have the logo of the school. Okay, you're gonna tell ahead the person recording that's not the school principal and it's not the juvenile director. They're just gonna be aside. Make sure the video is done properly. So those two other people video, I'm going to say, look, now we are here at this class as this teacher. You can even film the principal face. Yes, this teacher called this and he or she teaches this and that and this is the grade, okay? All right. And then you knock the door, someone going to open the door, you come in and you're going to do that. All right. So you come in and say, hi everyone, hi, good morning, how you doing? Great. So you already film everyone, because some schools, they already train their teachers when they have special guests to talk properly and clearly and complete sentence like I just said now. Some other schools, they do not teach their students to do that. So you're already going to film the reality. You're not going to prepare the students to do anything fake at this day. This time is for you to record the reality how it was until that day, okay? And then at the end, the last week, you're going to also record how things improved. That they should answer properly and clearly the questions that were said. And also to the greeting. Answer properly, like good morning, or good afternoon. Okay, hi teacher, how are you doing? Oh, the teacher gonna say something. All right, teacher, please say your complete name. Here we are. No, before the name, you said, here we are, doing this beautiful work for the Peace and Love International Organization, and we have some questions to your teacher. If you excuse me just 5 minutes. Okay, then you focus to the teacher, say, good morning, teacher. And gonna answer, how you doing? They're gonna answer. And then say, can you please tell me your complete name? This, and that. Can you please tell me how old are you? This and that. And then, can you please tell me when you start working here at our school? This and that. And now we just need to know how many hours you work a week. Part-time, full-time, how many hours? And then gonna answer. And then you're gonna ask, what classes do you teach? Because some teachers might teach science for the little one and biology for older ones, for example. What classes do you teach here? This is school. This, and that. And how many students you have in this class? This number. And then you're gonna ask, how many students you have in total here at our school? This, and that. All right, so basically it's that. All right, so now you have a situation that many countries do not speak English, right? That's another thing. So you have to send, the principal of the school have to send an email to all teachers for them to plan exactly those questions in English. So you have to send an email like 2 days before for them to practice to already answer those questions in English. To the students, it's okay. They're gonna answer in their language, and soon after in your language, you're still gonna say, before you go to the teacher, you're gonna say to the students in your own language, okay, so now I'm going to ask the same things, how you doing, in English, and those that can answer, please say really strong, okay? So this way, you will already be recording the students answering your own language, when they have a guest, if they were trained to do better or not, okay? And in English, for the second part of recording the students, you are going to ask them to answer loud and strong, clearly, not loud, clearly, well pronunciated in English. And then you're going to say in your own language, look, if you can answer like good morning and how you doing, please say clearly so we can record that. So, and then you're gonna say good morning or good afternoon, right? Okay, then you're gonna say in English now. Good morning, everyone. And then you wait for an answer, or good afternoon. And then you're gonna say, how you doing? And then they're gonna say great, or maybe some other one's gonna say another word, okay? All right, you can even prepare them for that little second part, because you already record the first part as they already do it. So you can prepare them. Okay, so now I'm going to say good morning, and you're going to answer good morning, really beautiful with a smile, okay? All right, you can even wave a little bit, okay? For us to see this video is real, because this video is very important, you know, for the Peace and Love International Organization. And we're doing that at all schools, and this is really beautiful work at all schools of all countries, all right? So, and you can also train them right there, so easy. Now, when I say, how you doing, you're gonna say, great, okay? All right. And then they answer, you finish the students, and then you ask the teacher, those questions I already told you. This teacher have one day, you know, if you're sure that teacher will have the check the email, you can do in one day, you know, for those that reply, for example, please reply if you already checked this email, you know. So 24 hours is fine of notice. But if you believe some countries, teachers don't even have, you know, smartphones, they don't even have computers, laptops, even at the classroom or at home. So you have to be reasonable according to your reality. And if you need, the school principal will do a meeting with them. No, look, we are having a quick meeting, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. So you write in a paper the questions they need to answer in English, because it's no sense for the teacher to say in their language. Yeah, let's do that for security reasons. So you answer, the teacher also will do exactly like the students. Makes sense, okay? So the teacher will answer first everything in their own language, and that will be even great to prove which country they're from, right? That they are actually teaching that in that language. And then soon after, the same exact questions in English. Okay, so, and then you say, bye everyone, have a great day. And then hopefully you can prepare them ahead, and then they're gonna say, bye everyone, have a great day. Okay, so you already did this part with the students in your own language and in English. You already did the teacher with own language and in English. Okay, so now it's time for you to film the whole classroom from left to right. You did a little bit as soon as you came in, okay? But it's too quick because it's not fun, you know, people are gonna see that you come in the door and then don't do anything. So you just do a quick, the cell phone goes quick from left to right, all the way, done. You have an idea of the classroom, all right. Then you did the 2 questions to the students, you did the 2 questions to the teachers. Now you're gonna film the classroom with a little more details. And you can do in your language, that's fine, okay? Because they're not yet learning in English. So you're gonna ask, teacher, you excuse me to record your windows, okay? In your own language, fine. So you go to the window of that classroom, probably gonna be only one or a few windows on the same side, and then you do like the pattern, always from left to the right, clockwise, all the way, and show the view, okay? All right, so you have to hold your phone horizontally, you know, always the same way. So whichever is the camera on the back of your phone, you know, always on the same way to avoid having problems when you edit the videos, okay? All right, these videos. All right, you did not stop the video, keep going. Even the explanation to them, you keep going. As soon as you enter each classroom, you do not stop, you keep going, all right? And you do the windows, right? Okay, teacher, can you tell me a little bit in your own language? Teacher, can you tell me a little bit about those assignments hang on a wall? Can be art, can be, posters, can be little signs, whichever it is. So the teacher needs to say two longer sentences or 4 sentences about whichever is you asking, right? Those things hang. If they have more things hung, because maybe they have some students' work hung, maybe they have some signs the teacher made, is there with some equations in math or some good positive sentence, whichever they have. All right, in your own language. All this part is no English anymore. You do it your own language. Teacher, can you tell me a little bit about your desk? Okay, so the teacher needs to say 2 or 4 sentences. So if they have picture of their family or not, if they have some assignments she's correcting, whichever it is. And the principal is there, so the kid's gonna behave. So don't worry about that. The principal is there looking the students, making sure they're quiet, okay? All right. And so the teacher gonna tell, it said, can you please open the drawers of your desk? And then the teacher, and say a few words about everything in your language, own language. All right, the teacher gonna open, if they have any, right, they're gonna open the desk and say, what they keep in there, assignments or pens, pencils, whichever it is. They close them down one at a time. You film. You move around to film and open big. Say, can you open a bit more, please? And all those details for them to have an idea, the principal can tell them, in this short meeting, in the morning or on this email, whichever is your reality, for them to be prepared. They have already to open the whole drawer and not a little bit. Okay, they cannot touch their desk anymore. So when you send the email or when you have a meeting, the principal have a meeting and the juvenile director is right there, make sure the teachers heard the information. It's important for the juvenile to be part of this moment, okay? All right, so you won't lose time. They cannot touch up the table on this 1 or 2 days notice, improve anything or clean anything or dust anything, okay? It needs to show the reality, because that is the objective, previous points, everybody gonna get what they deserve, okay? How were their practices? All right, so you did the entire desk, you talk about the teacher's chair. Teacher, can you stand up? Please show me your chair. And then the teacher gonna show, thank you so much, You don't make comments, if they're comfortable or too rough or appropriate or not, doesn't matter. You don't make comments. Your objective is to be enthusiastic talking about this video, making the video for people that are listening that gonna see you enthusiastic, okay? All right. And then, at the middle point right there, so you did quite enough. So what you did, you talked 2 times with the students, you asked the basic questions to this teacher, you did the desk and you did the walls, right? If they have assignments or drawings or signs and the blackboard. Okay, so you did all these things with one person talking with the cell phone on their hand. The same person that talks have the cell phone. And of course, show people, students around. Yes, show their faces. Important to show their faces. All right, now you're gonna pass the cell phone to the helper. Remember I said only 2 people? Okay, so now the second person gonna do the rest of this classroom. Okay, and I'm going to tell you here which items the second person gonna be checking. So let's leave for this second person the window, and comment something, have been cold, have been hot. Even that they're gonna repeat this almost every classroom, that's fine. If it's snowing or not, if snow is melting, something important that happened these last 4 weeks, for example, or these last 4 months, Oh, this last winter we got 2 inches or two. You try the best you can already to say things in metric. Oh, we got 10 centimeters of snow. We got a meter of snow, okay, according to reality. Oh, we got this hot, 24 degrees, 28 degrees, Celsius, everything Celsius. The best you can already say Celsius. And say the month, like the high of the last summer, the lowest of the last winter. Those are very good for the second person to, of course, train ahead, search up ahead, and comment on when looking the outside. Okay, this second person gonna film from left to the right of the window, the whole school every classroom gonna be that, and comment something, and we'll already ask the teacher, teacher, where those students take recess, do you know? Because maybe it's just a not important teacher, right? The arts, maybe that teacher doesn't know, maybe he knows, because every teacher should know, right? Instead of asking many questions to the, no, let's do the other way around. You ask the students, I want to know where you take recess. Who wants to answer? Please raise your hand. That's the best way, okay? Because the teacher already said quite a few things. All right, so you're gonna choose some students, one student to answer the location, all right? And then the other question is, who wants to say what's the best thing you do during recess? And then you choose another student far away from this. So if this first one was in the beginning, in the first rows, you're gonna get now a student that all the way on the back. All right, so we have a pattern all the way on the back. The very last or two, the second before the last row. All right, what's the best? Okay. Now I want to know who can tell me what type of sports you do during PE. Please raise your hand. And another student gonna raise hand, you ask. Okay, so one male, one female, right? Because some middle, high school, they already have different classes. Now I want to hear a boy or the other or a girl, whichever said about a PE class, physical exercise, now you hear the other student. So you have a boy saying something and a girl saying something. Okay, all right. This second person, also video recording, gonna comment something special at the class. Might be a big mural, might be, I don't know, a small mural with some pictures or some special beautiful drawings, or maybe it's a quiet area. Some schools have this little chair with some books for them to read. It's a quiet time, maybe they finish their assignment, they sit there. Anything that's look different or look special, or a seasonal table, some teachers put a little flower or a little something different, you comment, okay? All right, you ask about. Or if it's many boxes, pile in a corner, then of course you're gonna ask the teacher if it's boxes. If it's an artwork, you're gonna ask, I want to know about this artwork. Can you please raise your hand if you want to talk about it? And you choose another student, okay? All right, very good. So if you have any closed box, such as a new arrival or maybe it's there for a long time, you ask the teacher. You have to record boxes. If you have counters on the sides, maybe with different baskets for different assignments or maybe books or a bookshelf, so you're gonna, if it's assignment, you ask the teachers. No, just keep asking students, no more teacher, okay? If it's a closed box, I think it's reasonable to ask the teacher, right? If you believe that's a new delivery or something, what's in it, okay? Can you open one, please? And they're gonna show this is close to donation, this is books just arrived, or whichever it is, toys that just arrived. They have to open the boxes. If it's like a few boxes, open a few boxes. You have to do this, okay? Open all the boxes. You get more points if you open all the boxes. Okay, and then you already talk about the counter, and you keep asking. I want to know about those counters here. You have many books. Who wants to talk about that? Get another student. And you're going to explain your own language. Everything's your own language now. If you already answer a question, please don't raise your hand anymore, so others would have the opportunity. Okay, so and then the question is if they have some books, reading books, right? You're gonna ask, who likes to read this book and want to comment something about the best book they have read from this bookshelf. So you choose one of the students to talk about that book. I want to have another student that wants to say something about the best book, some words about the store of the best book they have read from this shelf. And then you get the second student. All right? And then you are going to, anything different you also ask the students. Oh, what about this cabinet, for example? What they have here? Do you know? And then you get students all the way. If the classroom has a bathroom, or if don't, maybe you don't know, you can ask, do you have a bathroom at this classroom? And who wants to answer that? Okay, yes, no. If it's yes, you already show the bathroom. Okay, if they have two, you show both. If they have a closet, what is this door here? And then who wants to answer about this door? Please raise your hand. Okay, go. And like this, you're going to answer the second person video, going to answer and show everything. You go inside the closet and show from left to the right entirely. If there are many things up to the top, you make sure, because you're using your cell phone, right? You can flip and use it. Instead of horizontally, you can use your phone vertically, or even go twice, left all the way to the right, and again more towards the floor, and then a little more towards the top, left all the way to the right. And keep saying, look, you mentioned something. Oh, you have many extra books, you have many extra paper. Even that you're in the poorest school, mention something, say something nice about. Whoa, very nice. Even that their color pens are very small, but maybe they're neat and sharp, or whichever it is, or their artwork hangs nice, beautiful. Okay, and then this second video record, they're going to go to the artwork if they have any drawings or whichever it is, or assignments. Who did this one? And then the person and who did this? So you choose 4 or so. Okay, who did that? Why is that? So people will say, please say your name. Oh, who did that? Please say your name. And you're going to say clearly, say your name, or clearly, please. That's okay if you have to repeat something, but do not finish this video if you don't really listen. And when you explain right on the beginning, when you arrive, you're going to explain to the student, for all the questions we are going to ask at this video, we're going to be here a few minutes, and going to be more, of course, than 5 minutes, right? We're going to be here for 5 to 10 minutes. Please answer clearly so we don't have to remake those videos, all right? Okay, so you go around, you already did the bathroom, you already did the counters, cabinets, open all the doors. If any boxes are there, you ask. If any clothes, uniform or play clothes, you ask. You already did the closet, and then you're gonna do the fans and air conditioning if they have any. Okay, I want to know about the ventilation of this classroom. Who wants to answer about that? Okay, the person raised hand. You think it's good, it's too hot, too cold, or just good, and the person said. Now I want to know if you have air conditioning heater here. And you're going to say, do you ever get too hot in here? You get another student to say. Do you ever get too cold in here? Who wants to answer that one? And if you don't have too many students, of course, you can start repeating, just make good sense. And then you can say, from now on, you can answer second question, because we don't have many students at this classroom. The other thing if they have the windows open, you know, when you arrive, here's an improvement. When you arrive at this classroom, you're going to record exactly how they usually are. If they have the blinds open, it's open. If they have the blinds closed, it's closed. You're going to start recording the video the way it is, if they have artificial light or not, whichever is the reality, that's how you have to start the first 2 minutes. And somebody gonna tap you, the video recorder, that first video recorder gonna tap you that you can open the no, not tap the shoulder, no. The helper gonna say, teacher, can we please open the blinds? Can we please open the curtains, all right? And can we please check this fan? Is this fan works? You know? And some questions like that, you know, everybody or the students can answer. Okay, and then you're gonna do the plugs. How many plugs do you have? Please, students, let's walk around right now and point them up to us. So all the students get up, they're gonna point the plugs, for example. Now, please, if you have books there, please, students, I need 10 students to get the best book they read from this shelf. You know, and then, okay, 1, okay, 2, 3, 4, as they raise their hand, you know, and if you have 10 students, you know, you can get 10 books. And you show the cover of that book and open, can you open a page, please? You record a little bit the middle of the book. You know, for little ones might have a lot of pictures, for older ones will be shown your language, right? Your own language. Okay. So you show maybe 4 pages, 5, the front, the back, and 4 or 5 pages between that book. That first student sit down. Okay, student number 2, can you show your book, please? You can say favorite or the best. It's okay, you know, doesn't matter. As soon as you have 10 books. All right? So show always you follow the same pattern. The front cover, the back cover, and about 4 pages in between. If it's a book that is too bad or is a book that is too good, you do 8 pages and not just 4. Okay, because those things gonna count point for the teacher, gonna count point for the school. Okay, all right, very good. And then you go, student number 3. You always talk loud and ask them to answer loud as well. Okay, why you like this book so much? So from all these 10 students, that's the last questions. And they're gonna say, so you keep this pattern to this 10th book. That 10 is enough. But the other classroom, for example, can get 8 or 12. You know, don't do everything exactly the same. So we know you're in different classes, right? Okay? All right, because some schools, they have classes exactly the same. So to avoid that, you know, that's how you do it, okay? All right. So the best to the teachers, you know, it's for you to tell them 20 minutes before the classes start, and you already give the paper with, you know, how to answer that in English and practice those 20 minutes so they don't get too worried, too concerned the day before. But if you believe that according to your reality it's okay to do a day before, you do a day before. But then it's forbidden, you already tell them it's forbidden to be sick, to miss work, or to touch their desk. Okay, all right. So you also gonna open the blinds and open the curtains if they have, or open the window itself. And when you're doing the window, you have to talk about the protection you have. Mention it yourself. Don't ask the students or the teacher. Look, we have metal bars. Or you're gonna say, here we have a mosquito net. Or you're gonna say, here we have the safety child-proof net. Is those bigger holes, like about 5 centimeters square or losango. Okay, all right. So you went away. You already, the second person already asked, please, students, show me the plugs, right? The outlets. So they're gonna show all of them, You already check the light, if they have any burn bulb or not, if the fan works or not, if the air conditioner works or not, if they have a central system. At this class you have to say, or they have a wall unit air conditioning. You also gonna check on the side if they have any heater, moving heater or attached to the ground heater, because different countries use different things. Okay, and then you're gonna ask them, do you know where your electricity comes from here to your school, to the city? You know, the older children, middle, high school, you can ask that. If they don't know, you keep asking other students, because that's a very basic thing. And the last question is, do you plant any food here at your school? Who wants to answer that one? And you get a student to answer that. Who agrees with that? Can another student please say something as well? And then you get another student to complete, because maybe they have different classes, maybe not. Maybe it's a new student that answered that question. And, you know, do you really agree with that first student? Okay? So perfectly, you did everything. And then the first video recorder, when it's recording the top of the desk, you go slowly, 1, 2 seconds, 1, 2 seconds. Every pile of paperwork she has, notes. You say, excuse me, teacher, now I have to record. Everything great you have at your desk. And you stop right there, okay? 1 and 1,000, 2 and 1,000, 1 and 1,000, another pile. 1 and 1,000, 2 and 1,000. This is 2 seconds. Long, good seconds, okay? Anything they have seeds, they have objects, they have toys, they have pencils, markers, whichever assignments, notes, you record, okay? So that you stop at that view, that you can practice a little bit and see how much your camera can record. 1 in your head, of course. 1 and 1,000, 2 and 1,000. And on this moment, while you're doing this desk, you know, somebody else in the background, you know, such as your helper, the principal. Let's say the principal and the director can ask questions to the students. All right, so you did your entire table, okay, good. And you did the heater, the air conditioning, if you have any, done. All right, and then you're gonna, another question I forgot. Do you have any play items here for outside? And then the student's gonna answer. Do you have any play items here for the inside the class, such as table board games, or if they have small games, right? And for the outside will be a ball or jumping rope, and they show. Okay, now you tell me, which grade are you? Okay, they're gonna tell. And everybody agree with that, or you have also students that come to this class that belongs to another grade? Because some schools, middle and high schools, they have that. So maybe they combine the classes for their math or science, but maybe, you know, in another subject, they belong to another grade. Okay, because some of them might be advanced, some of them might be behind. Okay, so you did everything. If the teacher has a computer or laptop, said, teacher, now it's your turn. You know, the first person, the first video maker, gonna be doing the whole table, gonna do the teacher's laptop and computer as well. So can you show me your front page with the apps you have installed? So you're gonna go there and you stop for 4 seconds. Can you tell me the ones, and you stop right there and film? Can you show me the apps you use the most? And the person gonna say. And now tell me, do you use this, if they have any, do you use this laptop, a projector? You have any projector you borrow sometimes? Or of course you're gonna see if there is one at the table and say, look, teacher, you're so good. You even have a projector here. What type of projector it is? You go and you film the type of the projector, the company. And you go and you film the type, the brand name of the laptop, okay, or the computer. Okay, all right, so basically it's that. And you make sure, you record the entire clothes of that teacher, including the shoes. Okay, so instead of going from head to toe, when you come closer to that teacher, when you ask about the chair, I think that's the most reasonable way. Before you do the chair itself, say, teacher, can you please stand up? So when the teacher stand up, you already do. Why? Because you start from the feet, the shoes of the teacher, you focus 2 seconds on the shoes, and then you go up the body, and keep talking. Oh, that's a nice chair. Why? Because when the teacher gonna look at you while the teacher stands up, you already record the teacher shoes, clothes, and then you're gonna record the teacher's face, and then you come to the chair. So you finish the entire body of the teacher. The shoes is important, okay? And then you're gonna do the chair. All right, so you have all the questions, everything is good, and you leave the class, and then the 2 video makers gonna say, all right, dear teens or dear children, according to their grade, right? We really appreciate your cooperation and your participation. And then the other video maker, that's the first video maker that just said that. The second video maker gonna say, teacher, we really appreciate your time and your cooperation. Everyone, and then here gonna be the director of the school, the principal of the school, and the director of the juvenile gonna say also, both of them gonna say different sentences. So if these 2 said have a wonderful day, they're gonna focus on a wonderful day. They're gonna focus on thank you for participation and cooperation, right? So the principal and the juvenile director gonna say have a wonderful week. And the principal gonna say, we are really very enthusiastic with this new program for all schools of all countries. Done. The director of the juvenile gonna say, let's have a wonderful and great week. Done. So you keep filming, and the second video maker still filming. You leave the classroom, bye-bye, you practice ahead, and you have the 3 people in front of you. The director go in front of you, the school principal go in front of you, the first video maker go in front of you. Okay, you leave in that door, you have to film that school label again, whichever the class number, it should be there, the teacher's name, okay? Then you finish that video. And then you don't stop yet, so that's gonna be many minutes, right? Gonna be a little faster than what I'm doing here, but for you to have an idea, about the same time. Okay, so, and then you're gonna say a few words about the corridor again. So you did the corridor, left to the right, all the way, say a few words. Oh, I forgot. You need also a student to say ask questions. Where do you eat every day? Lunch. Where do you eat? Lunch. Where do you eat your snacks? Because sometimes they're the cafeteria outside or their own classrooms. So you ask one question at a time according to your reality, right? Because some eat breakfast at home. So this you can ask the principal. Does the student eat breakfast here? Lunch? Snacks, afternoon snacks or dinner? And that's also a question for the principal. Do they stay here the whole day, or what is the time of most students stay at the school? So this before you enter each class, you're gonna, or the corridor, yeah, that floor. because, the same principal can have elementary, middle, and high school. So before you start, so elementary, she's going to say elementary, they stay from this time to that time. We have this number of students. For middle school, they stay from this time to that time. Most of the students is this time to that time. We have that number. They need to give the exact number. For high school, we open this time until that time. Most students, they stay during that time. They have those meals. And preschool, forgot to say, that's the first one. Or they're going to say we don't have preschool and elementary. We only have middle and high school, for example. Whichever is the reality. You do ahead of time and in front of her office, before you go to all these locations. Okay, so you got the place they eat their snacks. You got the place they eat the lunch. You record inside that classroom because you need to have most of this information for every single class exactly the same. The only difference for the books. So for one, I want 8 books. I want 10, I want 12. And then you go back to 8, 10, and 12, and that's good. Okay? All right? Okay, so you film. If the bathroom is not inside the classroom, I say, teacher, you excuse me, can I have 2 students, one male and one female, to show which bathroom they use? And the teacher gonna say, yeah, sure. Okay, they're gonna be back soon, so you have a wonderful day, and you already say bye, as I already told you. Okay, so you have these 2 students, one male and one female, going in front of you as well. You recording the video the very last. Right. According to your reality, you're not going to have 2 important people inside the classroom if according to reality, you might be in a village, you might be in a huge city, because you're doing this for the juvenile, but this video is also served for any school in any country. All right? So what you're going to do? You're going to have someone, 1 or 2 people at the door outside at all times. Might be the security and another person, important person. To guard. It's 2 important people and 2 video makers, and the class, you don't want any problem. So they're guarding the door. The whole time you're going to be inside each of these classrooms, you have a security guard, or if they don't have a security guard, 2 other people, 2 other employees, important people of the school, such as full-time employees, and not those that come sometimes or once a week teachers, or once a week janitors, or once a week volunteer. Okay, 2 important people, employees. All right. Okay, so you do all the classrooms related. If you are using this video for the juvenile, because we're gonna use the same video for the schools as well. So if you're using this video for the juvenile, you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna do all the classes that you have juvenile, of course, and not the others. Okay, so you finish the juvenile videos that is related to that. You have 2 students in front of you showing the bathroom. So you go first to the female, 1 of 4 of you needs to record. So when you're planning, 1 is a male, 1 is a female. You need 2 video recorders, right? Okay, so the female, follow the female, quickly show the toilet, show the sink, show the walls if they're dirty or not, the baseboard, and talk about, and go out. Okay, don't leave for the principal, because might be embarrassing. Maybe the principal don't even check the bathrooms. You, the video recorder, they're waiting right there, the bathroom door. Okay, the other question I forgot to say, where do you drink water when you need? So they're gonna say by the bathroom, and then, or we drink right here, we have a sink, or we have a water fountain. You're gonna make sure you understand what that person is saying, because you have to, when you leave the classroom, you have to show that water fountain, or if they drink water from their sink inside their classroom, you're going to show they have different cups for everyone, or they just put their hand by the sink. Okay? Very good. So for the juvenile videos, you already did everything, okay, at the school. You show the bathrooms, the female, you show the male, you show the cafeteria, you show the cooking kitchen, all these things related to those juvenile that attend that school. You have to show, all right? So you show the classes. You know, if they have afternoon free time or homework help in the afternoon, you know, then you have to stay the whole day and film everything they attend. The physical exercise, if they have gymnasiums or not, if they go outside or not, you have to ask those same questions to the teachers. You know, to the physical exercise, the PE teacher, you're gonna ask, do they go outside or do they stay more inside? What type of game usually you do? And you record the video. How usually you do the program along the year? Do you do workouts or more like games? Okay? So you prepare your questions and you get those answers in your own language. All right? And then, you just start to say good morning, and that part you can do for all classrooms. Okay, I'm gonna ask in English now, okay? But just good morning and, to see that is something different going on, right? And okay, all right, have a wonderful day. Can you answer back in English? Have a wonderful day. Okay, you just try a little something like that. But first you say bye in your own language and you're going to see how they respond. And then you say, okay, now I'm going to ask in English and you're going to answer really with a strong, good voice. Okay? All right, have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful day. All right. So you went over all teachers. If they have food gardens, you're going to show. If they have pollination gardens, you're going to show. The playground, if they have or not, you're going to show. The gymnasium or outside basketball court or volleyball court, you're going to show the entire school those students go, okay? Or you're also going to ask the juveniles, right? Do you afterwards, do you go to that gym? Do you go to that library? Because some places, in some schools, they have places to show the parents. I'm not saying that for juvenile, but some schools, the kids never even really use that location. Some schools, they have, perfect places, perfect computer rooms, but sometimes they don't use. So you have to ask, if you notice anything, do you use that computer room? Do you use this do you climb trees? Do you climb these trees? Are you authorized to climb these trees? Do you swim on that pool? Can you sit beside this pond or this fountain? You ask questions, all right? Okay, so here we are done for the juvenile videos at the educational site, and also for every school of the whole planet going to be exactly like this, okay? All right, then you, for one reason or another, you already finished all the videos and you have the school principal beside you all the time, and the principal assistant. Some schools even have different assistant for different things. Okay, then you're gonna have different assistant for different things. So for example, one assistant is for the middle school, the other one is for the high school, for example. Or one is more for humane classes, the other one is more for math-related classes. Whichever those assistants are placed there, they're gonna be there this time or that time, or they just walk together and you're gonna film one or the other because they're in charge of this or that area. Okay, of course, they can stay on the side if they're not in charge of that area. Okay, so some might be in charge with everything that's related to grades or to age, or some might be related to all the core classes, and the other assistant, the principal assistant, might be related to all elective classes, you know, the arts and all these extra classes, okay? And if you have an after school, you need to have the after school coordinator right there. You need to be, those two video makers need to be there the whole day. Or you have 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, that's okay. They need to listen to this video, you know, if they're doing that for the juvenile or if they're doing that for the school, so they will be prepared ahead. And of course, they need to speak English, okay, for those very simple questions and be clear and pronounce well and look people's eyes, so they're gonna smile, be enthusiastic when you arrive and during all this process. The other thing I didn't say, remember, you have to open all the cabinets of each classroom, okay? So some of them you just open, some of them I have keys, so you have to ask the teacher and get the key, right? And you don't stop filming. If the teacher needs to get a key or forgot at home or is at the office, you keep waiting, you keep talking, doing something else until the key arrives. She's in charge of the key, for example, right? So she's gonna figure out what she's gonna do. She's gonna ask her students to go and pick it up, or usually how that works. Or she uses her phone to ask the person in charge to bring the key, or she has the key herself. Where is that key located? With her own car key or on the drawer. You pay attention, you film all these details. Okay, so you have, you know, many cabinets open, for example. You know, so that whole wall, you have to open them entirely. If they have a few or many at the bottom, if they have a few or many at the top. And then you step back, film them all open, and say, I need 2 students to help me to close all these cabinets, please. And then please raise your hand if you want to do that. You choose 2, so the person with the cell phone is the one that focus. Why? Because that person, you know what to film, what it's coming on the head, the next question. All right, you need a piece of paper, such as maybe like a half piece of paper, you know, like with lines, with these items written or typed, you know, and printed. Okay, so you follow the same pattern at every classroom you will go to, and you won't jump anything. And your helper gonna have in a clipboard this piece of paper with the items, number 1, number 2, number 3, 4, 5, 6, okay? All right, and the helper, when they see, for example, that you're finishing one, they're already gonna tell you the next one, because maybe for the first few classes you don't know the order. So you're finishing the teacher question, the desk, the teacher desk. You already know what's the next one. So you follow that same order for all classrooms you are going to go. All right? Okay? And do it all the time. The principal and the assistant principal, or the principal and the juvenile right there. So for any chance you have, you film the students, film the teacher, and those 2 important people, right? Very good. Okay, and at each class you ask, principal, can you please tell me your name? You know, your complete name, official complete name. All right. How many years have you been working here in this? How old are you? This. And remember, when the teacher, the chances that you get, you film, they start always with the feet of the principal and go towards the face, okay, when you're asking questions. So if they're walking in front of you, film their feet, because those are basic things, but they're important. Some people give value to expensive shoes, and some other people, sometimes even the same city, their shoes have holes. So it's important for us to do this. They're walking in front of you, film their shoes. Is there comfortable shoes or high heels to show off? Not appropriate with the age. Or it's a half high heels for older kids, or is a special event coming on. You know, if you So if you see anybody, a class, for example, they have different clothes or costumes or uniform, you ask, why you have different uniform from the other class? Is it a special event or something, because maybe, some schools might be coming, have special events, end of semester, maybe you're doing that in May, June, right? Okay. So for people in schools in the North Hemisphere, they have to hurry up and do this until end of May. It's very important. During regular classes, you have to do this during regular classes, okay? All right. Okay, the other thing I didn't say, is for you to ask the students, do you do any play, any drama presentation, plays, performance of theater performance? And then they're gonna say yes. What's the last one this class performed? Okay, how long usually you practice them? A month, 2 months, how long? Okay, they're gonna tell you. So this is important, okay? And then which other extra elective classes you have here for your age group? Can you please raise your hand? And then they're gonna tell, oh, we have art, we have clay modeling, or gardening, okay, knitting, whichever they have, or natural fiber, whichever it is, okay? And one more question, do you do field trips sometimes? How often? Where the last 2 field trips you went to? Who wants to answer that one? So instead of saying who wants to answer that one, you already explained. Okay, now I have many questions, and if you're interested to answer to any of those questions, please raise your hand. All right, and you're gonna see more or less how many students you have, 10 or 20, and then you're gonna tell. If you have 10, you're gonna say, after 10 students answering those 10 first questions, we're gonna start everything you can say, answer following questions again. If it's 20, you say 20. Please give chance to your other students to answer those questions before you raise your hand again. So how many students there here? They're gonna tell you. The kids should know there. 22, or they're gonna say one is not here. Who is not here today? That's another question. So you're gonna put all those questions, you're gonna type them, print them, and follow the same exact order. Because here I'm adding this and then I'm adding that. That's not good. Just type everything and print. Don't do handwritten. And the person that has that on your side, your helper, right, is always 2 video makers that speak a little English, don't need too much English, right? So they're gonna help. The next is this. Or if the person is holding the cell phone, is the video maker of that moment, does not know the next, all right, you show the video to the other person, say, hey, Bob or Robert, right? We're not using nicknames, forbidden. So, hey, Robert, can you tell me what's the next questions we have to answer for this beautiful video we're making here? They're gonna say, so you don't have to whisper. It's forbidden to whisper. It's not needed. Bob, please, can you tell me the next question now? So that's how you can do it. And then when Robert is holding the video, the cell phone, and leading those questions, then Jack, for example, going to be the one helping, okay? All right. So basically it's that. So you are going to show afterwards, right, where they eat, and then if they eat snacks in the class, you make sure you show 2 or 4 classes how they eat. If you notice difference, for example, one teacher is very neat, organized, they have, for example, proper bowls or proper placemats, and the other don't, and then you film 4 classes, okay? All right, but let's do 4 classes. If they eat something inside the class and at the cafeteria. At the cafeteria, of course, you have to be there, or if they eat outside, you have to, for examples for eating for morning snacks, for examples for lunch. So you go to different tables, talk. When you go to the cafeteria, if it's big, first you show left to right slowly the whole thing. and then you go to one table, another, show the food, say hi to the person in your language, say hi to the person who's offering the food, say, get a time, and you have to show the cook. You have to show the cook while he's cooking, not while he's relaxing and everything's clean up. While he's cooking, it's crazy busy, it's a mess, or it's kind of organized and manageable. They know what they're doing. Okay, all right, and then you show, the kids leaving. You show these things. Those can have cuts, such as the cafeteria, because you need to show before, during, after. Okay? And when they arrive, and then you don't make cuts anymore. When they arrive, you talk to few students, and then you can make a cut. And then you keep doing a little bit more towards the time they're leaving. And you ask the students, how long usually you have to eat? What are you eating there? What are you eating here? What's your best things they offer here to eat? Or maybe they bring food from home, all right? Okay, or a half. All right, so this way you're gonna have all the information, okay, and everything you need. So basically it's that. And you check details for the playground. You check, for example, this is old, this screw is off, or it seems new. You mention something at all times. This fence seem good, a good height, or this wall, or this seem a little short, but you don't judge. You just say, this fence seem a little short, and you ask the student, is that okay? Nobody jump over? And they're gonna say yes, no, okay. Some preschools have separate fences, some classrooms have different playgrounds to go to. You just ask the questions and you make those videos and everything gonna be fine. All right, so you do everything for schools, and the schools you also need to, you're doing already the teachers and the classrooms, but if you have janitors, you make sure what time they have a break or what time they work. You show what they are doing, how they do, where's their cabinet, if things are organized or not, if things are far away or close by, and you comment on it. Oh, this is good, the cleaning cabinet's right here, it's close by, right? Okay, you show the buckets, you show where they rinse. Where do you rinse that mop? How often do you mop? Which products do you use to mop? Or you vacuum. So you go there. Where you keep the vacuum is here. Where you keep the cleaning towels is here. Okay? All right, so you have to do the school kitchen, the school pantry, the cafeteria, the outside playgrounds, everything. If they have gymnasium or not, if they have a basketball court or not, the walls of the whole property, okay? They have pollination gardens or not, food gardens or not, everything. Computer rooms or not, art classes or not, basically is that. Okay, all right. So the other thing you need is the secretary, the office. So, hi, so you are the secretary of the school. Can you please tell me your name, how long you work here, your age, and what else? How long you work, what age, hours you work, how often do you work, if you work during vacation or not, how many weeks of vacation you have a year. And if you have children, to all professionals you ask, do you have children or a spouse here at the school? One question at a time. Do you have a spouse? You're going to see husband or wife, depends what the person looks like, right? Okay, you don't say spouse, you say direct. You have a wife working here at the school? Yes, no. Do you have a husband working here at the school? Yes, no. Okay? If you feel that's possible, show. Yeah, you show the person's ring, because I think in front of the students is not so good to say. But the school principal, the school principal can tell you how many are married, how many are not married. I think that's more polite. But if you see a ring on that teacher's hand, you quickly do that. And Julie, also do it. Sometimes you go a little bit. You don't have to zoom in, zoom out. You just get a little closer to the person. The person already knows, it's been filmed, okay? So if the person has a necklace, an earring, those details are important for security reasons, okay? It doesn't matter how much they cost, but for us to identify, because some people in some countries, they look very similar to one each other. All right? Okay, very good. So you did all that. Now, the last thing you're going to do is the documentation, just the very basic. So you're going to, the secretary know you're arriving, okay? And then maybe both of you, the video maker, still doing that, or maybe, let's get 2 people. They stay the whole day, they finish everything, and they post everything on the YouTube account of that facility, that school or the juvenile. All right, so they ask the secretary, how many students you have at the elementary school? How many students you have at the middle school? And if the person doesn't know the exact number, say an approximate number. That's okay. When this school was open? Do you know? And what else? Can you please tell me the address? The address of the school you need to do 4 times during those videos. At the start, when you're doing the street, when you enter that front office, you're going to tell the address. You can read in a paper, that's easy, with the city, zip code, country name, and if you are one of the smallest 100 countries in the planet, you say the continent you are located as well. Go online and search it up. Okay? All right. So the street, you did the address, you said the address, recorded, said, look, this is the office of this school that we are here. The address is this and that. The name of the principal is this. They have 2 assistant principals, principal assistants, right? Or they have 3 or 4, whichever it is, or none, okay? So use this word, principal assistant. If some countries use like vice assistant or something like that, just use assistant, okay? All right, so now you did everything, the whole school, you're there, the secretary. We need some more details. Okay, I need, please, can you show me 4 files of preschool students randomly. They cannot choose the very best one. Can you just show me more or less what type of paperwork you keep there? Is a registration form or you do it online? And then the person gonna tell you if it's online or if it's printed as well or just one or the other. Okay, so you have 4 examples, so you go over them for students, okay? And then can you please give me 4 from the elementary school? Can you please give me, and you film everything, show everything. Can you please give me 4 of the middle school? And you show everything up to the bottom, those pages they have. Waiver, do you have any waiver at school? Okay, can you show me the waiver? Oh, it's right here, with each student have their waiver, or it's one for all the parents. Okay. And then you do high school, done. So you do everything the school does have, of course. Preschool, elementary, middle school, high school. All right. And then you're going to see, do you keep paperwork from the staff members, the employees here at your office? They're going to say yes, no, or it's another secretary. So if it's already there, you already do that. And you also get 2 examples for teachers for the preschool, 2 teachers for the elementary, 2 teachers for the middle school, and 2 teachers for the high school. All right? If it's another person, you go to the other person and ask the name, and how old are you, and how long you work, and how old is this school, when this school was open. Okay, so you did all that. And what else? And you're going to ask for security. If a real problem happens, who you contact? They're going to say, I call security, the school security, I call the city security. What type of the worst 4 problems you have in the last 2 years? Okay. What's the worst problems you have here at the school? You can ask the principal. Maybe that secretary doesn't work that long for since you're open. Do you know? Ask the secretary and ask the principal. What the worst problems since the school were open? You know, maybe divorced parents causing problems or student fight, whichever it is the reality, or drugs found, okay? Or kids came with problems, okay. So then you did this secretary that has paperwork for the students, then you did the secretary has the paperwork for the employees, how many janitors you have, how many cooks you have, how many helpers you have, assistant, class assistant. So you're going to ask all these questions and even more if you believe the school have more. How many professionals for ESC? ESC is like kids with problems, mental problems, physical problems, right? Mental or emotional, right? Slow learners, or kids with ADD, ADHD. Those are problems related to concentration, right? Lack of concentration. Okay, so you have that. Do you have any class for advanced learning? Yes, no, or here and there. What type are there? This and that. What's the name of the teachers? Okay, they're gonna tell you. It's up to the parents to decide if they have advanced learning or the school decide and already put that student in advanced learning. They're gonna tell you. All right, so basically it's that, you know. You can add anything that you find is relevant according to your reality. Do you have field trips? Okay, that's another thing for the students. I already said that, right? Where did you go the last 2 times? And then to the school prince, you're gonna ask, what were the best, before that question, you're gonna ask, do you ever had problems in field trips? Which were the biggest 4 problems from the last, all field trips since you're here? They're gonna tell you. What, and then the very last question was the best field trips since you start working in this school? And then they're gonna tell you. If the principal doesn't go, you can say, sorry, the principal might say, I never went to field trips, or I go to all of them. Or as far, if the principal does not know, you're gonna say, all right, as far as you heard the comments from teachers, from students, which field trips you believe were the best? And then the principal gonna answer those questions. All right? And then you have any problems with parents before? They're gonna say, the principal gonna say yes, no. And you ask the same questions to the secretary as well doing paperwork. All right, if it's a private school, we said, do you have any problem with parents paying money? How much percent, more or less, parents are up to date today? How many students you have? Can you tell me again? This number. Okay, and to the principal, we're gonna ask how much money you have in a bank. Who gives this money? The parents, or you also have money from the government or from an organization helping? They're gonna tell you how much money you have in the bank today. Okay. How much is for food? How much for teachers? How that is divided? The principal gonna answer those questions. All right. So basically, it's that. Make sure that's for principal. You know, because in the classroom it's different. They don't need to know advanced. Gonna be a natural answer. But for the principal, give that paper to the principal, right? So you're not going to spend too much time. For the principal to find that information. Give ahead, the day ahead, you know, so the principal will be prepared to answer those questions, all right? Okay, very good. Hi, Salo. So, here it is. Let's get ready, organize. Everyone, we see you soon. If they have a garden, a food garden, you're gonna tell how much of this food garden actually go to the cafeteria. They're gonna tell, the principal gonna tell, and at her office. But then you ask also the students. You also, the best you can, you ask the same questions to different people, right? And if they have a teacher, of course, you're going to ask the teacher as well. But for sure, the students of different ages that attended garden. How many students you have coming to the garden? If it's a clay modeling class, how many students you have attending the clay modeling or the sewing class or watercolor paint or oil paint, or if they change along the year different things, okay? The other thing you can ask the kids and also the garden teacher or the who watches the children when they're playing. It's someone there, or they just, they sit, or they have someone actually watching, charge of them. Is the class teacher or someone else? The other question is, do the teachers, that's to the principal you ask, do the teachers need to play with them or just watch them, observe them, and be there in case it's needed? So all these questions, you already make a list, have consistency, and give to the principal day before, not too much ahead, so they won't be planning too much how to answer, but a little bit is a good idea, right, for them to have an idea. And you're going to write that on email. We are coming, but don't get, you cannot touch your desk, the principal, secretary, nobody can touch their desk, okay? So on a phone call that you're telling them that you have to come to do this video, you're gonna tell this information a day ahead or so, right? So the principal is prepared to answer those questions. If they have a separate location for many sports items, you're gonna record, mention, talk about, touch them. Everywhere you're gonna go, you're gonna touch things and show the window, the floor, and the baseboards, they're clean or not, the walls, the doors themselves, if they're dirty by the hand or not, these details. And always in a positive way. Oh, it's a little, we need some cleaning here, right? Maybe I'm gonna come one of these days and help. So if you see something, you're gonna say, oh, it's very clean over here, very good. But if it's dirty, you're gonna say, oh, I guess you need some help here, right? So, but it's important for you to comment and not only make videos, for us to see that the videos are true. Basically, it's that. And then you're gonna show, do you have a flag, if you didn't see any, of course, in the front or in the backyard, or, where's the flag located? What's your logo? What this logo represents? Just very quick words. Total employee, total students number, done. And at the kitchen and the pantry, make sure you observe details, expiration day. Okay, so you're cooking this right now, whichever, chicken, meat, or eggs. Where's the expiration day? Where's the package came from? Who gives the money? Is the school itself, or you have help from the government or an organization or a church or whichever it is, donations from other people, fundraising events, I forgot to ask that. So you ask the principal, do you do fundraising events? What type? Where? There are festivals, people pay the entrance, or they are money from the performance of plays, dances the kids do, or dinners, special dinners, luncheons, whichever it is. So can you tell me about the percent, if the person have money from different sources? Can you tell me more or less, or do you have written down in a percentage how much you get from the state, how much you get from parents, from fundraisers? Do you have more or less? And then the principal is going to show you this, whichever information they have. And at the principal desk, the secretary desk, and who else? The front desk, you're also going to do exactly as you did for teachers. You stop 2 seconds in that amount, that pile of items that you practice ahead of time, that your cell phone can record, okay? I remember, 2 seconds, you're going to count 1 and 1,000. 2 and 1,000. Don't do too fast, and then you go to the next. So only start the ones that's closer to your belly to the ones that's further from the desk. Okay? All right, Prince. I really appreciate it. So now I'm going to record a little bit of your desk. Okay? Okay. So if you have notes around the wall, you're also going to record the notes around the wall. If they have mirror, they have a phone, a wall phone, a cell phone. So, and for emergency, you're going to ask the secretary, but you're also going to ask the principal. You're also going to ask the cook, the main person of the cooking, if you have ever emergency. And if you have like a property manager, right, that take care of water, plumbing. So those are the people. If you have an emergency, who is the people you contact? You know, so they're gonna let you know, right? All right, so very good. And the weather. The last question is about the weather. You can ask the student outside when you record and them playing. During recess, you're gonna ask, what is the coldest weather got here? They're gonna say, oh, so you got snow? Please raise your hand so we have one person answer at a time, okay? All right, so I have some questions here for you, and then you ask those questions related to weather, related to their garden, they have bees or not, things like that. So you're gonna ask, what's the hottest day you have? The coldest day, snow or not? And then, do you have any nature disaster here? Such as storms, strong storms, or hurricanes, tornadoes. You give a few examples, you know, because maybe they're elementary kids, right? Or you have floods here at the school or at your city, okay? So for those kids outside, you have authorization to ask those questions that are listed there. Gonna give a copy to the principal so they know you're not going to ask any personal questions to them. You can ask their age. You can ask their age, which grade they are. You have to do this over and over. For outside, you're gonna get a moment with every group. So you have this outside moment with questions related to their age, right? Preschool, elementary, middle, and high school, okay? So middle school and high school, you're gonna ask questions about the city. Do you like the city? What do you like the most about the city? And the high school the same way. Do you go to the library or parks? Who go to parks here? Raise your hand. And then they're gonna raise their hand. Who goes to the local libraries here? Who goes to restaurants here? Because those things might be simple, but we have an idea about those kids as well. And so parks, restaurants, beach, if that's related to your reality, river. Who swims in a river here? Anybody? Who walks around the block with mommy every day or sometimes? They raise their hand. Okay, so simple questions like that in group, no problem. You already write down in a paper, give to the principal, and the principal will know you're doing that. Okay, very good. Here it is. All right, if you're doing this for some schools at the preschools, they talk more quietly when they are inside, but this day, remember, they have to answer questions loud. If they're not answered loud enough that you believe that your cell phone is recording properly, you don't want to go back, right, later next day. So, okay, now teacher already knows we have to answer questions really strong now, but you cannot scream, okay, because some schools is the opposite way, they scream for anything. All right, okay, so very good. You finish all the school related questions, you talk to everyone, you show everything, and right away you're going to post those videos at the school YouTube account. In the case, if you're doing this for the juvenile, you're gonna put at that juvenile YouTube account as well, right? You're not doing this for just one place, right? If you're doing for juvenile, you already give the same videos, right? You edit them and send to the school so they don't have to do everything again, okay? All right, the other question I forgot is about the uniform. So, do you use uniform or is free? Do you use uniform for PE or is free? Do the parents have money to purchase PE? uniform PE or regular or not? Do you have donations for uniform or not? The other question is transportation, how the students get here. And of course, for the juvenile, how the juvenile get here. They walk, they come in a van, they come in a bus, or how is that? Okay, the other thing, you're gonna film the drop-off in the morning and you're gonna film the pickup time. They might have two different pickup times, right? One maybe about 2 o'clock or 3, whichever is the reality, and one at the very end of the day if they have extra classes, right? After school program for parents that work. All right, and to the principal, the other question, to the principal, you're gonna ask, what are the, you believe that is those students come from? Which neighborhood they come from? The principal gonna say that. And you can ask the principal, how much you believe is the regular income for most of the parents here, you know? And then you're gonna say that. As soon as they say that, you say, oh, let me calculate a little bit. Okay, so that is about, you're already saying dollar. That is about, I don't know, 1,000 American dollars, or about 2,000 American dollars, or about 100 American dollars. When you ask the principal, you're gonna tell her to look the questions the day before. That is a monthly parents' income combined, because some neighborhoods, they have both parents working and some not. So just an estimate, okay? And you be clear and already make a rough calculation in your head. Okay, so this is about already, you know, ahead. You look a day before, right? How much is the dollar on that day? Okay, so this is about 100 American dollars per month, or that's about 500 American dollars per month, or 2,000, whichever, okay? All right, so you filmed the drop off. Let's do the drop off. You can make the first cars or first walkers, right? So let's do, because some of them might be short, some of them might be long. You can do 4 to 5 minutes. You don't need more than that. So, and you ask the principal, who is at the drop-off? You know, so you call a day before and ask. So you're there. What time that person comes? 6:20, 6:10, 6:05, 6 o'clock? Who is the earliest employees you have here? That's a principal to answer. What's their names? And what they, okay, they're going to say their names. Tell me the two, focus on two. What are the two earliest employees you have? What, okay. What time they arrive, gonna say. What they do, you know, they cook, they clean, or they're the gate opener, or whichever, you know, the welcoming. So what are their names, first and last names? Okay, so you're done with that question as well. Who receives the students at drop-off time? Most of the day, so it's this person. What's the person first and last name? This. How long that person stay there? So maybe it's from 6 to 7, maybe 6:40 to 7. Okay, so what is the length? And then you already say, oh, so it's about 10 minutes. Oh, it's about 1 hour. Okay, all right. Does that person have a helper? Yes, no. Who is the person in charge of the pickup? What time is your pickup? So you're going to do this. Always ask the person first and last name. And if you see the person themselves, you know, the principal should tell them a day before. I guess that's the best. For them to feel comfortable and answer, how old are they? That's the very basic. How old are you? Okay? First, last name, how old are you and how long you work here. To all employees, you always ask, how long have you been working here? 2 years. Which month you start? In the beginning of the year, mid of the year, you remember? Okay, all right. Which month you start working here? That's the second question. First, you just ask roughly how many years. All right. If they have a sandbox, you also film, you touch the sandbox, see if they're very damp or very dirty. Smell the sandbox, you know, because might have poos from or pee from cats or not. It's very clean. If they have special things that they build, they make, or it's just there, nobody ever play with it. You know, if the teacher doing jump ropes or games or timetables outside or not, you record everything, okay? The other question to every single teacher: do your students miss class a lot? Yes, no. Why you believe they miss class the most? They're sick or they travel? What is it? The teacher gonna answer. Every class teacher you ask that, okay? And you ask the secretary, how is the amount of students miss class every day? Do you know? You know, because some schools keep records how many missed. And to the teachers that are away from their students, such as outside, you have chance to talk to one or another, you're going to ask the teacher, away from the students, do the students respect you here? They're going to say yes or no. Do the teachers have a good environment here working, or you feel that they have competition? You know, they're going to answer. This time, you know, you don't record the face of the teacher, record the playground, record the kids playing, okay? Just to avoid future problems, you know, just say yes or no, don't need much explanation. And to the secretary, to the principal, the front office person, to the cook, and to the people that check the cafeteria or walk around or supervise them. So you have for 8 people, those I just said, there are 8 people you're gonna ask these questions. With the other employees, it's a good environment here, you know, that question I just said before. So for 8 different people and 2 teachers, so 2 teachers, so you have 10 people to ask, is a good environment to work here? Or you feel that people are kind to each other, or you feel that's a competition, you know, for better salary, or competition like to show off. Maybe it's not a competition, maybe it's to show off, you know. So you mentioned these 2 examples so they know what you're talking about. Competition, maybe it's not the case of many schools. I don't think schools have that, as other stores, maybe other business might happen. So you're gonna just ask if they feel comfortable working here, the other employees, if the other employees are kind and respectful. Those are important words. All right, so then you're going to ask about sickness, right? How many miss school, how many the principal and the secretary, about kids being sick and employees being sick. How many and what is related to, what they believe is related to. They miss the time in the morning, or they're sick, or what they believe. So you ask to these 2 different people. And this question about sickness, you can also ask in the outside time, recess time, to the teachers without students being close by. You know, what you believe they miss school? What you believe is the cause? And the other question you can ask the teachers outside as well, you know, of course, according to reality. It's some public school, or do you believe they have enough food at home? You know, that's an important question. Or you believe the main source of food is here at the school? To the principal and also to the cook in separate moments, you're gonna ask everything the principal asks at her office early in the morning, right before you go to the classes, okay? And you can ask her, how much you believe food they waste here? What do you believe they waste the most? Is the salad or, and you know what items you believe they waste the most? Is the food wasted used as a compost, or they just gonna trash? That's another question. Do the students help cleaning? You know, yes, no, maybe, how much, what age, what they do. They really vacuum, they really mop, or they just sweep and they help dusting or not, or is more according to the teacher. Those are two separate questions, right? And you ask 4 teachers about cleaning out, you know, if the students help or not, to make sure the answer from the principal is the same as the teachers are saying. 4 different teachers, different ages. Okay, so now I'm going to ask some questions about outside area. Do the students help to maintain this area, or is other people sweeping, or a landscape company coming, you know, or the students do everything themselves? How it is? So ask 4 different teachers for the outside area as well. And then you're going to film if they have trash outside in the recess area or not, if they have trash at the cafeteria or not. All these things important as well. Okay, the cooking time, you're going to be inside the kitchen for all meals preparation. So if they offer 4 meals, breakfast, lunch, snacks, and early dinner, some places do that, right? Early dinner about 5 or so. So you're going to be there the preparation time. So you might have to come, you know, a second day to do this kitchen, right? This exactly how I'm telling you, and they can't change anything. Okay, so you're going to smell, you're going to show with your cell phone the ingredients listed, okay? And show the product itself, not just the box. And you're gonna stay about 5 minutes there for each of these meals, 4 meals a day, whichever how many they give, see the preparation. If the meals are prepared in different locations for different grades or different, you know, students, you ask. Also, you're gonna ask if they offer any options for kids with allergies or not. If they say yes, you're gonna ask what type of food you offer and what type of allergies they have, you know, and how many students they do this extra food for them. Or they might say they don't have that option, or they don't have any student with allergy. You're also gonna ask them if the produce is organic, produce eggs, and if they're organic or not. And then you have a different questions for the meat. Do you know where that meat comes from? From another country? Have you ever read? And then you look and show. You have to show the freezers or the pantry or the cabinets exactly the same way. For the cabinets, of course, you can come in a time they're not busy. But you show about 4 to 5 minutes cooking time for every meal they prepare at the school. And you're gonna ask the cook if they have special events, if they prepare the food over there, the parents bring some ready food such as potluck, how that is done during special events, and which events are those in case they do it. This question that's said for events and food, you also ask the 4 teachers. Always everything you ask for the principal, almost everything, ask 4 teachers outside, 4 different teachers to make sure they are talking about the same thing. The food waste, for example, the cooperation, the food for events, which events they have, that you also ask the principal for teachers, okay? Now, competitions. You're also gonna ask the principal, the PE teacher, and 4 teachers. You know, do you ever join these competitions? You have an idea what type are they? They're more like track, like running, or they are swimming, or what type of competition, or basketball, volleyball, whichever they have. All right, so you ask anything that you believe it's according to the reality of that school, and basically that's what it is. And then you say bye to the front office person, right? And then right away you record the door, the gate, you know, and the number and the wall. Usually schools have their name written big in one or more locations, okay? All right, before you leave, you remember you have to do the pickup time. If they walk, if they have cars, they have buses, what they have. And for that, drop off and pick up, you can do 5 total minutes. That is okay. You can add it, and you can do even for 2 different days. That's okay. Pick up, drop off, and meals. You know, because maybe in one day you can't be inside looking the cook, right? The people cooking, preparing, and also be outside talking to the students. So maybe you can do in 2 days if needed. But maybe one day you can do it, maybe, yeah, if you plan ahead and know exactly the preparation time, tell them a day before you're going to be there for them to do exactly how they usually do. They cannot touch up anything. You just have to film the corners, the pans they use, the silverware, you know, if they're plastic, disposable or not, reusable or not, if they use bowls, the students, or if they use trays with different spaces for different food, if it's one meal for everybody, or if they can have choices for this and that, you know, these details you do as well. And how much is homemade, how much comes ready. For example, if they offer a simple cake, right? Is that come ready, or they come in boxes, or is from scratch, you know, they make from scratch. The egg, the same way. If the egg is real eggs, they crack the shell themselves, or those eggs that egg content that come mixture and already blended in containers, they just pour them. You know, if they offer cheese, what type of cheese it is the one that's more like regular quality cheese, or is those that look like plastic, you know, like United States we have those that are slices, and even they put the plastic wrappings for each slice, because then they're so plastic they stick to each other, you know. So like I think it called American cheese. So you're gonna say what type of cheese, okay? Because some cheese you don't even need to put in a refrigerator. They're almost plastic. They call cheese, they smell like cheese, taste like cheese, but they're not cheese, okay? So you're gonna look these details and ask if you have any question, you know. If you see them about eggs, ask about eggs, or they use both. They use the container, egg with container, and eggs already blended in containers, or if they use eggs in shells as well, because maybe they use both. The same for meat. Do they use steaks that they cut in little pieces, or they also use processed meat? Okay. And chicken, the same way. They use only pieces of chicken, or they also use, for example, chicken nuggets that's processed, okay? And if they have any type of meat that you believe that they're not real, you know, because some are processed, you know, they look like, even for bacon, for example, you know, but when you see, it's not really bacon. They have the color of the bacon, you know, maybe they taste bacon, they look like bacon, but they are processed. They are not really sliced bacon. So you're gonna do the best you can with all these details and ask them if they use both, real and processed. And according to their reality, because we're talking about here schools of all types, right? Very simple schools, public schools have no money at all, they don't have even proper food, and we are talking schools that are for millionaires, right? So we're talking about different reality. You're just gonna do the best you can, but you need to spend 5 minutes asking those questions, 5 or 10 minutes, at the kitchen, and also film during the preparation time of all meals served. And if they know how many people, if you see anything like if they use a hood or not, like cooking protection, if they use aprons or not. Oh, so that's the apron. Is this plastic or is this cotton aprons? How often you wash them. So you're gonna film if they have white boots, rubber boots or not, if the floor is clean, corners, so all these things you're gonna film. All right, at the end of the day, before you leave school, they have to move the stove out from the wall, about 20 centimeters, so you can film the floor and the wall that there. And they also have to move the refrigerator about 20 minutes from the wall, so you can also film the floor. Bring a flashlight if you believe it's dark for these two places, okay? Ask ahead for a flashlight for the principal to have it ready. Don't say for what reason, just tell you're gonna tell her afterwards. So, of course, they won't clean those locations overnight, right? Okay? The other questions, they use gas for cooking or electricity, they're electric stoves. You also ask if they use pressure cooker, a cooker pan for meat or beans. You ask that too. And if you're gonna ask also if the kids help with anything, such as grinding grains or doing something, or washing salad or anything. Which age, how many, how often, which days of the week or every day. You ask those questions. You're also gonna ask if they bake anything, what type, how often they make, for example, cakes or bread or things like that. And if they buy any ready food, such as pizza or anything else, hors d'oeuvres for parties or anything else, ready food. And when? Sometimes just to be different or for parties. And the other question is about fruits. If they know where the fruit is coming from, they have a contract with someone, with a supermarket or with a farmer. That is a question for the principal first. And the principal can have you can ask the same questions to the assistant principal, because then it's going to be even better. You have two important people of the school answering all those same questions. The principal, the secretary, they need to open all their cabinets. The teachers, the PE, the art teachers, all employees need to open all their cabinets. The cleaning, pantry, cooking, the gardening if they have, if it's a shed or a room, everyone need to open all their cabinet. You have to film, ask questions, or make a comment. You're gonna ask who is the youngest person working there, who is the oldest person there, if they have volunteers, and who is the youngest volunteer and who is the oldest volunteer. Young and old in age. And then you're gonna ask who is the oldest employee. The two oldest employee, how old are they, and who is the newest, the ones they just hired recently, their names and their age. You're gonna also ask about internet to the principal and 4 teachers afterwards. If the students have access to internet while studying or just sometimes for special classes. If they can go around different websites while they're searching things, or there's specific places they have to go and they cannot go to another location. You're also gonna ask what they do in free time. So this question you can ask every single teacher when you enter their class. When students finish their assignment, right? The daily assignment, weekly assignment of the day. What do they do That's a question for the teachers while you are inside the classroom. Okay, and then they're gonna say, sometimes you can ask the students. So you can do one class teacher and one class students, you know. So you're gonna have an idea if they're gonna computer, they play cards, they go outside, what they do while they're waiting, they helping others, what they do. And when you're inside the classes, you're also gonna ask if they have a folder, each student have a folder for their assignments, or if they are building a notebook, if their notebook, you ask to show their notebook, ask the students, please can you get your notebook and show to us? So, and then you walk around and show. And can you turn some pages? Oh, you have a nice handwriting. And the other one say, oh, that's a nice title. Anything pretty, you make a comment. All right? And if you see something ugly, say, oh, we need to improve that a little bit, right? In a funny way, not to hurt anyone, okay? But to show the reality, not show only the good students, but show some bad as well. The other question, should the students, do you have a table of contents for this notebook? They're going to say yes, no. Can you show me, please? All of you, can you put in that page and show me? Do you write essays on this class? And they're going to show yes, no, and show you. How long usually are your essays? 1 page, 2 page? Can you show me your essay? Show one you like. That's a good idea. Okay, I'm going to be passing. Please show which one you like. All right, so all these questions are going to take a long time. And you're going to do class after class. So what you're going to do? You're going to bring your phones fully charged. And while you use one phone, right? Your helper gonna be charging his phone right there at that classroom. Okay, so those phones gonna be recharging themselves over and over. So while you're using your own, you know, your helper is charging his cell phone. Okay, all right, I think that will be good, sustainable, so this way you can use the other way around. If you're in offices talking to the principal, the secretary, just get in charge right there, right? If you need, you're going to see how much you have, you know, because you're going to need outside time. You don't have plugs over there. So those places are fine. You know, you just tell them ahead that in some offices you're going to charge your phone while you are recording those interviews, right? Those questions. So here's an improvement. The whole classroom you use one phone, and the following class you use one other phone. The entire classroom you use one phone. Why is that? Because quickly you edit, you copy and paste the title, just change the grade and the teacher present at that moment, and you're ready. Put to download, so it goes already on YouTube. Okay, you need internet on your phone because some schools might not have that. All right, so during the time you're going to be on the following class, the previous class is already downloading on a phone or already downloading on YouTube. Okay, so because the main title is always the same, is the school name, right, address, and the name of the principal. Done. The complete address, city and country and zip code. And if it's one of the 100 smaller countries in the planet, you need to put the continent's name as well. All right, so basically it's that. It's very quickly because it's one whole video, right? You just download on your phone using video maker, and you're ready. As soon as that is ready, you already pass to your YouTube account, right, that you made for the juvenile or for the school itself. So basically it's that. If you have any question that is according to reality that's relevant, go ahead and ask, okay? Oh, I forgot one. You're gonna ask the principal. What is the range of the teacher's salary, how much they get, what is the lowest, what is the highest, and why is the difference? Is because of age or because of degree they got, if they got master's or doctorate, okay? And the basic range of study of the teachers, and mostly where they came from, where they took their studies. You know, it's a public university or a private university, just from the same state or not. All right, the other thing I also forgot to say is the person in charge of the materials, the school materials. So they have a room for that, you know, to keep all the school materials, and how the teachers get those materials, basic materials, pencils, pens, paper, notebooks. You're also gonna ask the principal if the parents pay a fee and the school buy, or they bring the materials themselves, and if they have a lot in this storage room, or it's kind of good as they come and go, or they lack of material. That's another thing. And according to that answer, you're gonna say if they bring the materials or not. Is that enough of materials? You have enough materials? And listen to the principal. Okay, so basically is that every location you're gonna go, as soon as you leave, you know, you do the corridor from left to right, maybe a little detail like the classroom. Remember I said to show the water fountain where it's located, and the bathroom, go inside and out. Other than that, you finish that class, right? That comment of that class. So it's one long video without cuts at any type. So it will be much longer than what I said ahead, but it's okay. So you finish that class, you're ready, go and download. You know, download. Remember, in the beginning, before you enter that door, stay for not 2 seconds, stay maybe for 10 seconds. I think is worth it. Focus on the information of the door, the teacher's name, the number of that room, whichever they have there, okay? Because this is important for you to edit the videos and start deleting them soon after, so you have room on your phone to keep going and do the whole school. All right, the person that will be helper, that's gonna be checking the points and you have to go in order, also gonna have the ones that are already downloaded on YouTube, you know. So you get a ruler, make two lines, and as you put them on YouTube, you confirm, you're sure it's on YouTube, you go on YouTube, make sure the video is there, and then you can delete that, because probably, you know, you're just gonna have those 2 cell phones to do this, right? Okay, very good. Here's Glenda Ferreira from Florida. Let's get ready with all schools, all juveniles, and it's one more part of this video for juveniles and for schools. So keep looking, listen our videos, and here it is. Talk to you soon, because this is already more than 3 hours, so we need to do another one. Thank you. I appreciate your cooperation.